Dear Governor Cuomo, we come as your friends, Governor Cuomo, and we are here peacefully to celebrate our strength and humbly bear witness to the devastating public health and safety issues that surround hydrofracking. This coalition of more than 100 groups from all over New York State is proof that we are growing stronger and more coordinated every glorious waking moment. We are here to firmly but respectfully ask our governor to be our hero. We are not Democrats nor Republicans. We are not ideologues. We are not afraid of science or knowledge. We are citizens of New York, and we are here because we love this place we call home. And we are here to implore you to stop the course that has been set. We have the well-being of our children pounding in our hearts, and we have the words of our medical community, educators and scientists pouring from our mouths and illuminating the way.
Brown lung, black lung disease. Radiation hits the children before they've even been conceived.
This event is major, that they see, wow, this is a movement that's actually still growing stronger. There are more and more people getting involved in this. They're doing more and more high-profile events. One way or another, we're gonna get a ban. The question is, how much destruction is going to take place?
If this were ever given the green light, I think our efforts would only double and triple, and we'd see more and more people getting involved in this. Once the harsh reality of what this means to your community comes in, it's so destructive that once it's in front of your face, we'll see many, many more people, if it were to happen, coming out and decisively saying no.
We found from most of the independent polls that people are against it, like around 70% are against in areas where they want to drill.
We've also gone door to door, and perhaps there's no better way of knowing than to go door to door in various neighborhoods across the state and ask people. And when we find 80, 90% are with us and support a ban, that's telling.
I mean, people around here do not want it in New York. We're gonna get a ban. We're in this for the long haul, and we're gonna win.
This long-term campaign to get the truth out about this, and the longer it goes on, the more is known about fracking, the more truth that gets out there, the more New Yorkers are against this.
In this beautiful state building and participated in our right of democracy. And we were asking for a moratorium on hydrofracking. We needed to know more about the science. We needed to know more about what the medical community had to say. And like our politicians here in New York, our thinking on this has evolved. And we're here to ask our governor to evolve along with us and use the science and use what has been taught to us by the victims and what has been taught to us by the medical community and evolve to ban fracking now. Ban fracking now.
All over the world, social movements are springing up that give the people voice. And we've seen it happen here in New York State on hydrofracking.
We are going to stand by and let hydrofracking start in New York State. What is happening here today and throughout this entire state is probably the biggest grassroots effort that has ever occurred on any one single issue. The people of this state are going to say to the governor and the members of the legislature who think hydrofracking is a good thing, if you continue down this road, we're going to remember this at election time. We do not want hydrofracking in our state.
And now you have all these small groups, hundreds of them throughout New York State that have all started from the community level, from the grassroots level, from people with skin in the game. Each of them coming up here in Albany on their days off to lobby, and each of them making a relationship to the other.
We are on the front lines here in New York. New Yorkers have a big responsibility. Everybody is looking to New York. This is about natural gas as a financial instrument, not about jobs,
That's right.
not about the future or energy future. This is irresponsible gambling. We will not have our water gambled with.
And when fracking came across my radar screen, I had never seen an emerging health threat more serious than this one.
Well, I spent 20 years as a biologist looking at environmental health threats. That's my field of study.
This is an industrial practice that is being brought right into the environment that children live, work, and play.
This year, I'm one of the lucky recipients of a Heinz Award, which acknowledges my work in environmental health. I've written a trilogy of books on the topic, and it comes with a $100,000 unrestricted cash prize. And so when I got the phone call about winning the award, I was out west researching fracking, and I had just come from some of the most devastated landscapes I had ever seen. So I decided to donate the Heinz Award to the anti-fracking movement. And the lion's share of that award then went to this new coalition, New Yorkers Against Fracking, which just formed in March. And already we have more than 100 different groups on board and are rapidly becoming the voice of the anti-fracking movement in New York.
This is our inaugural event, and our message to Governor Cuomo is join us. You too can be a New Yorker against fracking.
So New Yorkers Against Fracking is not the anti-fracking movement, but I think it can serve as a kind of megaphone and an amplifier for that movement.
Everybody needs a good job, but we think clean water and a healthy environment are just as important as a good job or a good school. We think that we don't have to choose between a clean energy future and decent jobs. And what the frackers aren't telling us is the jobs, those jobs won't last forever, but the chemicals that infect our water will.
Those businesses will just pick up and leave after they're done contaminating our water. They will pick up and leave after they've destroyed our downtown businesses and our tourism industry. And they will pick up and leave after they've contaminated our soil.
Because I believe so strongly in the power of music and art to open our hearts and minds and make us see things differently and give us resolve for the fight ahead. I think there's nothing like music to bring people together under a common cause.
That's what tonight is about, to bring all of these groups together under one egg-shaped roof.
Just thrilled that this concert and the events of today were in some small way catalyzed by the only chunk of money I've ever received.
In my lifetime, when I was little, I could drink out of the St. Lawrence. Can we do that now? No. Can we eat the fish from the St. Lawrence or many of the creeks and rivers in New York State now? No. It is a travesty to think of even thinking of doing something where there could be mistakes, and we know there will be mistakes. And any mistake is loss of water, loss of land. This will affect everyone, every animal, every child, every living thing in our area.
Oh, my mother, I'm so sorry for the pain that you've been through. But now that I'm older and I am wiser, I'm gonna take good care of you. I'm so sorry for the times that I did not show respect, and I allowed myself and others to put our problems upon your back. Yo-ha, yo-ho-way, ah-hey, yo-ha, yo-ho-way, ah-hey, yo-ha, yo-ho-way, ah-hey, yo-ha, yo-way, ah-hey, yo-ha, yo-way, ah-hey. When I see a starlit night, I seek the one that shines real bright. Then I think about you.
So Governor Cuomo has the opportunity to play a hero's role here to say that fracking is part of a terrible past and will only take us down a further road of ruin and addiction to fossil fuels. Or he can show that he's a leader for what we all know needs to happen, which is investment in renewable energy. So it really is a choice.
Take a look at Pennsylvania. Prices so far so full. Now the devil jumped the border and he's knocking at my door. Millions, mister. I don't want diamond ring. All I want
see the valley torn asunder. Neighbors turn their ugly sides. All the words thrown in anger, till there's nowhere you can hide.
I don't want millions, mister. I don't want diamond ring. Your diamond ring. All I want is right to live, mister. Right to live, mister. You can't leave my land from me. Now they frack in North Dakota, West Virginia, and Tennessee, Oklahoma and Colorado. Gas is cheap and flowing free. Faulty pipelines, seeping waste pits, methane brine in the old seas, poison air and poison water, radioactivity. I don't want millions, mister. I don't want diamond ring. All I want is the right to live, mister.
I am terrified of what will happen to this state that I was born in and I've lived in nearly 50 years. I'm terrified of what might happen to this state if hydraulic fracturing begins here. I wish I could be Andrew Cuomo and have that power in my hands. You know, will he go down in history as the man who saved our children, or is he going to go down in history as the man who brought pain and suffering to our communities for generations? This disintegrates communities. Even without the methane migration, even without well contamination, it splinters communities. And one of the most insidious parts of our future here is this clause, compulsory integration. Repeat, compulsory integration. That's a form of eminent domain on behalf of private corporations. That's what we're up against.
Let's sing a song for Aubrey McClendon. Let's sing one towards T-Bone Pickens, him gets two. 'Cause when they die, they try for heaven. I know their money won't get them through.
So what happens is if the industry can gather up more than 60% of that land can be gathered into leases, everyone within that square is forced to allow fracking, and at the lowest terms of anyone within that particular spacing unit. This is complete loss of control over your property and your community. It's just outrageous.
Governor, he'll decide it.
He'll go down in history
As the man who saved the children,
or cause them pain and misery.
so I don't want
millions, mister.
It's a very complicated subterranean world down there below our feet. When wells are sunk into the earth and create these mile deep holes, they create portals of contamination because it's not just methane that's trapped in the rock. It's also benzene, which is a known cause of leukemia and birth defects. It's also butane, ethane, toluene, which is a reproductive toxicant that can sabotage pregnancy, and also radioactive chemicals like radon-226. Because the New York section of the Marcellus Shale is so radioactive, there's actually radon mixed in with the gas. And so these gases are also released in the process of drilling. And I know from looking at the data that it's not possible to frack without laying down a blanket of smog across the landscape, not just in the gas patch, but across an entire region. So this is a threat to our whole state, because even if they don't frack in the field at the end of my block, they might frack in the southern tier, and the air pollution and smog so generated will come to us. Is an ancient ocean floor suffused with heavy metals, radioactivity, and methane. The Marcellus Shale, our bedrock, our subterranean coral reef. The gas inside the Marcellus is scattered like a fizz of tiny bubbles, a petrified spill of champagne. Until a few years ago, it was too difficult and too unprofitable to capture. Enter an extreme form of fossil fuel extraction called high-volume horizontal hydraulic fracturing. Fracking. A drill bores straight down, turns sideways, and tunnels through the bedrock horizontally like a robotic mole. Explosives are sent down the hole. Boom. A 400 million-year-old world cracks open. Boom. Frack. Up the borehole flows the gas. Some of the water used to shatter the shale remains entombed among the shards, forever removed from the hydrological cycle. But the rest comes flying back out of the hole with the gas, bringing with it benzene, brine, radon, heavy metals. We have no plan in place for the safe containment of this lethal flowback. 1 million or more gallons for every well. Is a chimney in the earth, venting toxic gases into our communities. Each well requires an access road, a 5-acre well pad, a spider's web of pipeline, 50,000 gallons of chemicals, 4 to 9 million gallons of water, and at least 1,000 diesel truck trips. Between 34,000 and 95,000 wells are envisioned for upstate New York. Do the math.
It'd be wonderful to think that there's a fossil fuel that's safe and clean, but the reality is there isn't. And the more difficult these resources are to extract, the more extreme the methods are. Whether it's tar sands, whether it's deep ocean drilling, whether it's fracking. We have this tiny, tiny window of time left to us to change, to become post-fossil fuel energy users, or we've blown it.
Where in hell can you go? Far from the things that you know, far from the sprawl of concrete that keeps crawling its way. About 1,000 miles a day.
Take one last look behind.
memory in mind. Don't miss this wasteland, this terrible place when you leave. Keep your heart off your sleeve.
Oh, motherland, cradle me, close my eyes, lullaby me to sleep. Keep me safe, lie with me, stay beside me, don't go. Don't you go.
Oh my five and dime queen, tell me what have you seen? The lust and the avarice, bottomless, cavernous greed. Is that all you see?
Oh, motherland, cradle me, close my eyes, lullaby me to sleep. Keep me safe, lie with me.
I see that many people stand to make a great amount of money, and it would be a massive sacrifice for those people, the landowners. But think about your children, your grandchildren. I'm gonna cry. Because I grew up in Western New York, and the people they're hurting. And so much of this event is about educating people about the risks. Because if a landman were to come to your door and say, tomorrow you have 200 acres, and tomorrow, if you sign this piece of paper, I'll give you a check for $1 million. If you didn't know, and you're being told by the industry, it's safe, it's clean. If you knew that your children would be breaking out in rashes and vomiting, and Lord knows what else.
Don't go, oh motherland, cradle me, close my eyes, lullaby me to sleep. Keep me safe, lie with me, stay beside me, don't go.
I mean, during this period of research, when we've been putting this program together, we found this woman, Jamie Fredericks, from Eastern Ohio. And the description of her discovery that she was being poisoned to death, organs from her body having to be removed, days and days of going to doctors, having tests, vomiting, being unable to get out of bed, and wondering, what has happened to me? Why is my health breaking down? And then having her water tested and finding it was full of frack chemicals.
Shortly after moving into my home outside of Youngstown, Ohio, 3 years ago, I began to get seriously ill. I started vomiting on a regular basis and had intense abdominal pains every day. After numerous trips to 6 different doctors and several emergency room visits, tests revealed that my gallbladder had completely failed, and no one could tell me why. I had my gallbladder taken out, but continued to have what seemed to be a never-ending intestinal flu. It became so bad that I soon developed an infection in my intestine as large as a grapefruit that ate through the outside of my skin. When I was finally admitted to the hospital, doctors said I would have been dead in a few days if I had not come in when I did. They were baffled and only could tell me that this should not be happening to a healthy 30-year-old woman. It turns out that before we moved into our house, the neighboring property owner, who lives out of town, had signed a gas lease. No one told us. Out of the 62 acres signed off by my neighbor, apparently the best place to drill was right by my home, as close as the law would allow them. Tests of our water revealed high levels of contaminants such as barium and strontium and toluene and several others I will not try to pronounce that are a result of hydraulic fracturing and drilling process. My medical mystery was now solved. This was why I had been sick for so long. It only takes one bad well to poison a water table that can sometimes stretch out for over a mile. In some places, that's a lot of homes. When the convoys of trucks and drilling equipment began rolling down our once lonely road, our lives changed forever. Living through the drilling and fracking phase was truly terrifying experience. We couldn't sleep for days at a time, and when we did, it was only short naps between explosions. We tried using earplugs, covered by headphones, while listening to the radio, and could still plainly hear it. Worse yet, we could feel it as a constant vibration through the house. Dishes rattled in the cupboards. Pictures fell off the wall. There were cracking sounds in the basement. Everyone asks me why I am not more upset with my neighbor and why I don't sue him. I feel that he was taken advantage of by the gas company. They told him it would be no bigger operation than drilling a water well, that the only thing left behind would be the size of a garbage can and surrounded by trees that they would plant. He says that if he knew then what he knows now, he would never have signed, and that he is very sorry. Our little house in the middle of the woods will soon be in the middle of a toxic wasteland as they prepare to cut down the remaining trees to put in pipelines and compressor stations that will eventually connect the wells. Our property value has been reduced from $125,000 to nothing overnight. 47 wells, including injection wells, already cover the 12 square miles that is Coitesville, right up to the edges of the wildlife preserve. We've already had a blowout of at least one well, a chemical spill, a tear in a waste pit liner, and again, they are only just getting started. I did not know what fracking was, or that I was being deliberately poisoned. But I do now.
Left Louisiana on the rail line. I left Louisiana on the rail line. I lost my love before her time. I lost my love before her time. On the way to Ohio, on the way to Ohio. Every new love is just a shadow. Every new love is just a shadow. to find love. Once you've known love, you don't know how to find new love. On the way to Ohio, on the way to Ohio.
I mean, people are really shocked in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Colorado, Texas, the states, West Virginia, where these states where it's intensely being implemented, the surface rights are really hard to control. Once the company, it's like an occupation, I've been told, like a foreign occupation.
2.5% of the water on the planet is fresh water. That's all there ever was. That's all there ever will be. And we're taking trillions of gallons out of that and injecting it poisoned into the ground, knowing that we can never recover it.
See, I will carry you through the hurricane water, and I remember you in the blue sky. See, I will carry you through
If you turn on any television station today, you'll see either an ExxonMobil or a Shell ad or American Petroleum or the American Gas Association pummeling the American people with what appears to be public service announcements. We're here to help the American people. We're nationalist companies that want energy independence for this country. What we can't forget is those are commercials, and they're selling us something. They're selling us another 30 years of carbon-based fuel. That's our new energy plan. That's what they're selling the American people. And they stand to make a good, pretty penny off of it. And it isn't going to stay in the United States. They're going to send it to China. They're going to send it to South America. They're going to send it to Europe, where they can fetch 3-4 times what it's worth here on our market.
See, I will carry you, carry you, carry you. See, I will carry you through the hurricane waters, and I remember you in the blue sky.
If the IEA, the International Energy Agency, is telling us that we have 5 years to stop climate change before it's too late, before we enter the echo chamber and it just becomes a repeating cycle. If we have 5 years, then why are we talking about building out a $700 billion infrastructure build-out in order to accommodate natural gas when in the United States, the United States Geological Service has told us we only have 20 years worth of it?
Why is fracking allowed? In 2005, fracking received exemptions from many parts of our federal environmental laws, including the Safe Drinking Water Act and the Clean Air Act. In other words, the regulations that apply to everyone else do not apply to drilling and fracking operations. Because of these exemptions, chemicals in drilling and fracking operations can be claimed as trade secrets. Because of these exemptions, the Environmental Protection Agency has limited authority to regulate fracking, leaving cash-strapped state governments to oversee the world's most powerful industry. Thus, where there should be a full-throated defense of public health, there is instead denial, deceit, silence.
Bend it over, tell the truth. This ain't good for me or you. Shiver, shiver, neck to neck. Lost the time, lost the bet. Still I hope and need to try. The good ones, they may die, but the will and the need and the heart and the steed.
That there are aging aqueducts like frail old ladies that bring water from the Catskills down to the city, and that's some of the finest drinking water in the world. It's unfiltered. Everyone's very proud of our city's water. So we know that upstate New York is the drinking fountain for downstate, but we're also the lungs for downstate New York. If we in upstate turn our air into urban-style smog, that will also affect the children in Harlem. And of course, we are the breadbasket for downstate New York, too. So it's our apples, it's our milk, it's our pollination systems that provide the wine and the food and the grain.
Citizens marched in the streets playing bagpipes and bearing loaves of bread. The nation state of Bulgaria banned fracking. So did France. So did Germany, that's turned its back on fracking. So has Ireland. And this month, Vermont became the first U.S. state to ban fracking. New York has not banned fracking yet. But because of an executive order issued by former Governor Pattison, neither can it move forward until a 1,537-page draft statement on the environmental impacts of fracking, the so-called SGICE, is finalized. How does the SGICE science hold up? The Environmental Protection Agency says it is worried about the exposure to radon from the Marcellus gas. What does the 15-pound SGICE say? Nothing. The U.S. Geological Survey says fracking could put our groundwater at risk from benzene. What does the SGICE say? Oh, it dismisses those concerns. Canadian studies show that up to 15% of wells eventually leak. What does the SGICE say? Oh, it ignores those studies. Well, surely children, who are the ones most sensitive to chemical exposures, receive special attention in the SGICE, right? Actually, the word children never appears in the 1,537 pages. And fracking is allowed just 50 yards from their schools. A school, a drill rig, a 50-yard line.
In my county, 40% of the land is leased to the gas industry. That is almost half. So I have some questions for Governor Cuomo about fracking. Last week, I ran in a 5K race and came in second place. I won a $5 gift certificate at our village ice cream shop. I want to know what will happen to ice cream if you allow fracking. If cows drink water with chemicals in it, then the ice cream will have chemicals in it too. Like a lot of kids, I have sensitive lungs and have had trouble with asthma. I want to know what will happen to my air if you allow fracking. Will I still win races? My friend Christian and I walk or ride our bikes to school every day. If fracking trucks clog up the roads, what will happen to us? In my school, we read a book about Harriet Tubman. She is a famous New Yorker who helped stop slavery. Governor Cuomo, you could be like her. Stop fracking in New York. Then kids will want to read about you. Thanks.
For too long now, this country has been led by the oil and gas industry. We see it in our geopolitics. We see it in our regulations. We see it in our government, and we see it in our subsidies, our taxes. And we see it in the whole economic structure that we're dealing with today. And now that our governor, Cuomo, has a chance to show real leadership and stop this and begin a new economy.
To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a reason, turn, turn, turn. And a time to every purpose under heaven. Time to be born and a time to die. A time to plan and a time to breathe. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a reason it turns, it turns, it turns. And a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to belong, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn. A time to cast away stones, a time to gather storms together. There still is a reason, and it turns and it turns. And a time to every purpose that's under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to win, a time to soar, a time to love, a time to hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late.
Friends, I'm sorry that I cannot be with you tonight in person, but if I could, I would say these few words to the present governor of New York State. I'd say, your father was perhaps the best governor New York State ever had. And if you take the money that they want to give you for going along with fracking and injuring people for generations to come, you will go down as perhaps the worst.
So here we are. The gas industry wants to come barreling into New York unless we take serious action and stop them.
Many of us have been working to educate our neighbors and elected representatives for years. We've sacrificed time with our children and our spouses. We've gone into financial debt, spent our savings, and used up our vacation days on rallies and lobbying.
This is a natural immune response triggered by a virus that is afflicting this planet. And we have come to heal. That is our job. That is what we are here to do.
Governor Cuomo, we have come here to deliver a message that New Yorkers do not want fracking. We do not want our water poisoned, our air polluted, our children made sick, our forests cut, our farmlands destroyed.
We need to ban fracking for the health and well-being of the people, the animals, the environment, and the future of countless generations to come who have yet to be born. They are relying on us to win.
Governor, we love New York. And it's this love that has fueled the anti-fracking movement into becoming one of the largest movements in New York State's history. Hundreds of organizations made up of hundreds of thousands of citizens have sprung up across the state, from Niagara Falls to the tip of Long Island, all with one clear demand: ban fracking now.
2 weeks ago, our coalition, New Yorkers Against Fracking, delivered 200,000 petitions to Governor Cuomo calling for a ban.
Our conviction comes from listening to the science and listening to the stories from those who have experienced this firsthand. We sincerely believe that if you spoke to the hardworking Americans who have become victims of this industry, you would stop fracking. We know you have what it takes to be a leader and a hero. Protect us from this deadly practice. We are scientists, artists, farmers, business owners, clergy, mothers, fathers, children, and the citizens of this beautiful state. We are New Yorkers Against Fracking.
Everybody's trying to get to the bar.
song, play it once again, play it all night long.
Heaven is a place where nothing ever happens. Heaven is a place where nothing ever happens.
There is a party, everyone is there, and everyone will leave at exactly the same time.
It's hard to imagine that nothing at all could be so exciting, could be so much fun. Heaven is a place where nothing ever happens. Heaven is a place where nothing ever happens.
And when this kiss is over, start it again. Nothing any different, it'll be exactly the same. It's hard to imagine that nothing at all could be so exciting, could be so much fun. Heaven is a place where nothing ever happens.
paycheck to our loved ones and families. We bring more than a paycheck to our...
I thought it opened my eyes to fracking. I did not realize at all what all the steps, all the trucks, all the water, all the everything that went into it. I mean, I think most people are naive enough to believe they drill a hole, shoot the water in, and up comes the gas, and there's no other consequences. Well, obviously there are.
Like, I wished my children were here because there was a combination of education. There was a lot of facts I didn't know that now I can bring back to other people and talk about tomorrow. So that's great. And then the music was amazing. There's so many talented artists all working together.
You know, it's thankless work being an activist most of the time, and so it's a nice thing to, like Mark said, you know, get together and celebrate too, because we have done amazing things. We have so far stopped the progression of this advance, and that's a pretty amazing thing when you think about how skewed our democracy is and how little voice people really have because of the corporate structure. So I feel like our voice is somehow breaking through those lines. It's kind of nice. Yeah, maybe.
If you know what I'm saying, stand up and wave your hands in the air. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We bring home more. We bring home more than a paycheck. Stress and pain and fear. We bring it, 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 we bring it. Silicosis, brown lung, black lung disease. Radiation hits the children before they've even been conceived. Go far from the things that you know, far from the sprawl of concrete that keeps crawling its way. About 1,000 miles a day.
Take one last look behind. Commit this to memory and mind. Don't miss this wasteland, this terrible place when you leave. Keep your heart off your sleeve.
Oh, motherland, cradle me, close my eyes, lullaby me to sleep. Keep me safe, lie with me, stay beside me, don't go. Don't you go.
Oh my 5 and dime queen, tell me what have you seen? The lust and the avarice, bottomless, cavernous greed. Is that all you see?
Oh, motherland, cradle me, close my eyes, lullaby me to sleep. Keep me safe, lie with me, stay beside me, don't go. 'Cause it's your happiness I want most of all.
And if there's anything